Hey, listeners! My name is Alex, and welcome back to Marvel's Spider-Man. In the last video, we managed to fix up some relay towers, as well as pick up some backpacks, but that's not really important. We also managed to get a brand new suit, which is the canonical suit for this game. And right now we're doing something for Yuri, which is investigating a construction site, which was owned by the Kingpin. So, now we're introduced to the concept of gadgets. As we go along in the game, we will unlock more tools that Spider-Man can work with. For now, we only have the standard web shooters, as well as the impact webs. These things are very handy for getting opponents off your back and sticking them to walls very quickly. Wow. And they're also really they're really helpful for stealth sections, which is what these are. Basically, these start out as missions where you cannot be seen at first unless you want a real bad time for the rest of this. Like, the general idea is that you're supposed to pick these guys off one by one, and eventually another wave will start. Like, it's essentially an endurance test, but you need to beat 6 waves of opponents. And also, these segments have challenges of their own. For example, I need to perform 10 finishers and web 5 enemies to a wall. And it doesn't have to be any specific wall, just a wall. So, yeah. Now, the problem is that sometimes enemies will be bunched up together, so you won't know exactly which one would be safe. But if you use your spider sense, you'll be able to figure out, well, you'll be able to see danger and safe. This lets you know okay, sorry, it's like 9:14 over here. I did not get any video editing done, so I am trying to hustle the best I can here. So when someone has a danger icon, that means that if you take them out, then other guards will be alerted. If they have safe, then that means other guards will be none the wiser. And you can either web zip to them, or you could do a perch takedown, which I'll do in a few minutes. Basically, what a perch takedown is, it's like an inverted takedown from the Batman Arkham series, but you web them up to scaffolding or walls and just leave it at that. And there is an upgrade to increase the range for this move, but for now it doesn't really matter. But when wave 2 comes around, that's usually when you have to get your hands dirty with a little bit of melee. Now, but also we'll be introduced to suit abilities. Most suits have a specific power that... Sorry, my pacing is very off. So basically what a suit power does is that it gives you a unique ability that you can use in combat. For the advanced suit, what we have now is basically a battle focus, meaning that we generate our focus bar while we engage in combat, or well, actually, it just recharges a lot faster than regular fighting, and this is incredibly helpful for the bonus objective, which is to perform 10. Well, it's meant to perform 10 finishers. My bad. And thankfully, you know, there's not like in terms of a finisher restrictions, there's not a whole lot. You can do them in the air, on the ground, on almost any regular enemy, but brutes are a little bit different. I think you need 2 bars of focus, and that is something that we can unlock later. Though exactly how, I don't fully remember. Regardless, though, as the fights go on, the enemies will drop grenades, which will disorient your vision for a little bit. However, you can pick them up and throw them back at your opponents. My recommendation, though, is that you pick them up from the air, so that way you can do it a lot faster. Like the ground variant feels fine, but it just takes a little while when you have too many enemies on your tail at once. So, yeah. Yeah, like that one's not too bad, but yeah, sorry. I'm just tired. I'm just trying to get this out as fast as I can. It may not go up at the same time as the past 2 videos have been, but it will be out tomorrow as of the time of this recording. I promise. Though I am going to need some serious sleep when all this is over. Like, I mean, recording. I mean, like, not the actual Let's Play. Like, let's put it this way. This game is way too long for one sitting. So I managed to get like 5 days worth of episodes up, but yeah, I think on the weekends I will need to do recordings, and on the weekdays these videos will come up, though I may give you updates on whether or not they'll come up. I may. I don't know, honestly. Like, sorry. I am not very professional, am I? Oh, but speaking of which, well, actually, no, we weren't speaking of that. I did have a question for all of you. So if it wasn't obvious from part 1, I am worried that the game will... Well, I'm worried that the music for the game is going to get me copyrighted. So... Well, not copyrighted. Fuck, what is wrong with my words today? I am worried that I am going to get copyright striked for this playthrough. So, my question to you guys... Are you enjoying the music that I'm adding instead? You know... Oh, and also, here are some other suits that we can get. Such as the Spider-Man Noir, the Scarlet Spider, the MCU suits, the Armored Advanced suit, a Kamen Rider styled suit, the Stealth Monkey suit, the Far From Home suit, the Tobey Maguire suit, the Andrew Garfield suit, and the Fantastic Four suits. Now, those suits are unlocked from the beginning of the game, so you could, in theory, use them at any time you want, but unless you're playing a New Game Plus, you will have to see that cutscene with the advanced suit. So, anyway, so the one that I'm wearing, so the suit that I'm wearing right now was from Spider-Man No Way Home. I believe this was the, I forget what suit it was called. You'll probably see it on screen. Well, what am I saying? Of course you'll see it on screen, because freaking any fan of this game will tell you exactly what suit this is, and any MCU fan will tell you what suit this is too. Like, sorry, I just feel kind of tired. I want to get this video out right now. I want to export it from the editing software, and then I can upload it and, you know, do my thing. But yeah, it's whatever. So not only are we gonna do Peter's mission, which is not very long, but we're also gonna be activating some network towers, because I may as well get them because it will be important for us later on, like mid to late game, I think. But yeah. Oh yeah, and while you are traveling through the city, the suit powers will automatically recharge. In fact, each power naturally recharges over time, so you don't need to worry too much. You just gotta stay alive if you really like the suit power. But yeah. Also in this video, I go after a few more backpacks, but I kept this in because, well, it wouldn't even make 20 minutes if I actually... Because the whole video would not make over 20 minutes if I actually did that, and this is a long game. So, long game, longer episodes, that just makes sense to me, okay? But... yeah. Like I said, are you guys enjoying the music that I am adding for this Let's Play? I am trying my best to make sure that the music kind of fits the general vibe of what's going on. But, you know, I am not a musically inclined person. I just think music can sound good, and I add it where I think it's appropriate. Like with the cell segments, combat segments, and just generally peaceful swinging around. Though I may need to find a new ambient soundtrack for later on in the game. Anyway, but while I'm here, I think I may as well talk about my experience with the MCU. I mean, why not, you know? Because, well, everyone, well, I mean, it's not like my opinion matters, but, you know, I just want to talk about it, okay? Just let me have this. Okay, so when the MCU started off with The Incredible Hulk, I thought that it was off to a great start. Like as a movie itself, I thought the film was great. Better than the 2003 version we had. No offense to the cast or the director for that matter, but it just wasn't a very appealing movie, if that makes any sense. It was very dark, it was very cartoony for what it was, and it just wasn't what Marvel or superhero fans wanted, right? Now, the 2008 version, now that's a horse of a different color. Like, that was a fantastic rendition of the Hulk. I liked the model. The final fight was absolutely amazing. And, you know, it really gets the idea of what the Hulk and Bruce Banner are supposed to be. They're people on the run. You know, one is a scientist just trying to find a way to undo a mistake that he made, and the other is just a power-bound brute that wants to be left alone. You know, like, it doesn't delve too deep into the psychology, but it does give you an idea of what they're supposed to be like. Oh, sorry. Oh, my chest is not doing too good. Anyway. Now, with Iron Man, I thought that was a good movie, too. Mainly Iron Man 1 and 2. I never saw 3, but I heard that it was trash anyway, so it was probably best to skip it. But probably my favorite would be Captain America: The First Avenger. Not because I'm Team Cap or anything, but it's actually a personal reason of mine, actually. Like, so, funny little story. One time when my family and I were watching a movie on Blu-ray, right? This was before Disney Plus and all that stuff, right? When we were watching the film, and it got to the scene where if the soldiers pulled down a flag, they would be driven all the way back to base camp, right? And out of nowhere, my dad said, "This scene reminds me of you." And I think I get what he was trying to say, but I might be wrong with it. I would have to ask him. But I think what he was trying to say is that these... Well, like... So, for context on the scene, because I can't exactly show it, Steve Rogers, aka Captain America at the time, they were tasked with pulling down a flag, and no one was able to do so. And all they did was try to brute force their way through the problem, right? Like just simply climbing up the pole, but no one could do it. So Steve decided, you know what? Screw climbing. I'm just gonna bring the pole down so I can grab the flag. And not only was that fantastic character writing in hindsight, but I think what my dad was trying to say was, I see solutions that other people don't. Like, I'm not too sure, but I like to think that anyway. But anyway, I didn't see Thor because, you know, I wasn't interested in everything Marvel at the time, and Thor was not speaking to me. Let's see, there was Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk. Then there was Avengers, the first Avengers movie for the MCU. Like, that movie was pretty good. In fact, I still think it is good to this day. Like probably one of the best films that Marvel has made ever since they merged with Disney. At least that's what I like to think, anyway. Age of Ultron was also pretty good, but it did start to show a few cracks in the MCU looking back. But I think I got a little time for this one. But anyway, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was freaking hysterical, especially with the Howard the Duck at the end. I was laughing my ass off with that scene, because why would they hint at Howard the Duck? Like, no, like, the world has not recovered from George Lucas's interpretation of the character. No, seriously. George Lucas actually made a version of Howard the Duck. It was weird. It was so weird, and no one has fully recovered from it. Okay. But so Ant-Man was pretty good. I liked a lot of the jokes there. I really liked Black Panther. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. And let's see what else. Captain America and the Winter Soldier wasn't bad. But then we get to a movie that I really wanted to avoid, or well, in my opinion, we now get to it, because I do acknowledge that it came first. before most of what I just said. And that is Captain America Civil War. In hindsight, an idea that could have been avoided if people just, you know, talk things over. Like seriously. Cap shouldn't have kept a lot of people in the dark, and Tony should have seen the consequences of saying, hey, you know your superhero thing? Yeah, well, you're gonna do it you're gonna do it when we say so, almost like a military business thing. And honestly, I did not want to give the film a chance. I, honest to God, did not want to do it because Civil War never really works out well for anybody. Like, if you've seen the comics, then you know exactly how that stuff turns out. But for Cap, someone who was trying to do the right thing, they pretty much made him they pretty much painted him as the villain when really I think it's everyone else that should be. Oh my God, I am so sorry. Just Civil War makes my brain not work right, so yeah. But then there was the last two Avengers, but then there was Captain Marvel, which I've heard terrible things about. And then, of course, we had the final two Avengers films, Infinity War and Endgame, which, honestly, I did not want to give a chance anymore. Like, I was completely burned out of the MCU at that point. And I still kind of am for newer stuff. Despite one of my favorite Marvel characters ever, Moon Knight, finally getting some spotlight, I just didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't want to get into the more modern stuff, but you know, I just don't care for the MCU anymore. Like, okay, great. We had a massive showdown with Thanos, which was building up for years and years now. Do we really need to see what happens at the end? Like, you could have just left it off there. Let the fans interpret what's gonna happen, because probably the fans will make better stuff than Disney actually does. No joke. I'm of the opinion that Disney fans know their audiences and what the company should do better than Disney themselves. Like, oh, craminy, sorry. I went off on a tirade there. But, yeah, just, I have trash taste, I will admit, but at least I'm not a toxic fanboy, okay? Like I don't want to call people out, but yeah. Anyway,
map should be recalibrated now.
Okay, so if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos, and ring the bell whenever a new one comes out. Or well, to know whenever a new one comes out. But until next time, Such Dragoons, remember, reach for the stars.
Huh, it's Mr. Lee. Hello?
Peter, it's Martin Lee. I just wanted to let you know we need a little extra time to get set for May's party. I guess the cake delivery is stuck in traffic.
Oh, sure thing. Just let me know when you're ready and I'll swing by.
Great. Talk to you soon.